Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources.
Washington Post World, January 23, 5:40 America, New York. French adventurer dies attempting solo Atlantic crossing. A 75-year-old French adventurer has died on a solo attempt to row across the Atlantic Ocean. New York Times World News, January 23, 5:39 America, New York. UK pursues more muscular role in standoff with Russia over Ukraine. With a late-night announcement about Russian meddling in Ukraine, the UK signalled its intention to be a player in Europe's security crisis, even as Prime Minister Boris Johnson is besieged by political scandals. A convoy of Russian armoured vehicles on the move in Crimea on Tuesday.
CNN World News, January 23, 5:01 America, New York. Heavy gunfire heard in Burkina Faso barracks, government denies army takeover. Gunfire rang out from several military camps in Burkina Faso early on Sunday, the government said, but it denied the military had seized power.
New York Times World News, January 23, 5 o'clock America, New York. Now there is no one, the lament of one of the last Christians in a Syrian city. Michel Boutros al-Jisri is among the few Christians left from a once vibrant community in Idlib on the brink of disappearing. The city, in the only territory in Syria still controlled by rebels, is ruled by Islamists. RT World News, January 23, 4:58 America, New York. Study reveals which alcoholic drink is best at preventing COVID. Researchers have established a connection between alcohol consumption and COVID-related risks. A team of Chinese scientists has analyzed the association between consumption of various alcoholic beverages and COVID-related risks, bringing some exciting news for wine lovers and disappointment for beer fans.
CNN World News, January 23, 4:55 America, New York. Turkish journalist detained after insulting President Erdogan in a TV interview. A Turkish journalist has been sent to prison for insulting the nation's president Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Mirror World News, January 23, 4:32 America, New York. Devastated partner of Brit murdered with sickle in Thai Street posts moving tribute. Marcus Evans' partner paid tribute to him in a heartbreaking social media post hours after he was killed in the Muang district of Kanchanaburi, Thailand, this morning.
Washington Post World, January 23, 4:10 America, New York. U.S. detains smuggling ship. UK seizes drugs in Mideast waters. The U.S. Navy says it seized a boat in the Gulf of Oman carrying fertilizer used to make explosives that was caught last year smuggling weapons to Yemen.
CNN World News, January 23, 3:15 America, New York. Ireland's data centers are an economic lifeline. Environmentalists say they're wrecking the planet. In the west of Ireland lies a medieval market town, its roots steeped in legend. Beyond the labyrinth of narrow streets of the center are the chimney stacks of housing developments that still puff coal and peat.
RT World News, January 23, 3:03 America, New York. Prime Minister cancels wedding due to Omicron curbs. Such is life, New Zealand PM Jacinda Ardern said as she announced the decision. New Zealand PM Jacinda Ardern has called off her wedding as the island nation is set to introduce the highest red light restrictions in order to stem the spread of the super mutant Omicron variant of COVID-19. Washington Post World, January 23, 3 o'clock America, New York. Kashmir Press Club closure is the latest blow to media freedom in the conflict-torn region, journalists say. In India-controlled Kashmir, a region off-limits to foreign reporters that is rife with communications blackouts, local journalists remained one of the few reliable sources of information. Washington Post World, January 23, 2:49 America, New York. Seoul says it paid Iran's delinquent UN dues to restore vote. Using Iranian bank funds freed from American sanctions, South Korea has paid Iran's $18 million in delinquent dues owed to the United Nations. Washington Post World, January 23, 1:37 America, New York. French adventurer, 75, dies attempting to row across the Atlantic solo. The Portuguese Coast Guard found the boat overturned near the Azores on Friday and dispatched a diver on Saturday. Washington Post World, January 23, 1:12 America, New York. UAE bans flying of recreational drones after fatal attack. The United Arab Emirates has banned the flying of drones in the country for recreation after Yemen's Houthi rebels claimed a fatal drone attack on an oil facility and major airport in the country.
BBC News World. January 23, 031 America New York, COVID. New Zealand PM Ardern cancels wedding amid Omicron wave. New restrictions are set to be introduced after 9 Omicron cases were confirmed in the country.
RT World News. January 23, 021 America New York. Vaccine mandate for NHS staff could be delayed. Prime Minister Boris Johnson allegedly fears a coup if he goes too far with his COVID-19 policies. The UK government's threat to fire unvaccinated National Health Service, NHS, staff is likely to be delayed amid fears of a Conservative Party revolt against Prime Minister Boris Johnson, according to The Telegraph. New York Times World News. January 22, 2306 America New York. Lions infected with COVID spur concern over virus spread in the wild. The lions caught the coronavirus from their handlers and showed severe symptoms. An outbreak among big cats in nature preserves could be hard to contain, researchers said. Members of the veterinary team of University of Pretoria taking samples from a lion that contracted the coronavirus from its handlers at a zoo in Johannesburg. RT World News. January 22, 2242 America New York. Israel insists only, legally, spying on citizens. Israel did not deny using advanced technology to track the population, but rejected allegations that the practice was illegal.
Mirror World News. January 22, 2212 America New York. Britain accuses Vladimir Putin of plot to install Russian ally puppet leader in Ukraine. Foreign Secretary Liz Truss revealed a Vladimir Putin plot in a highly unusual move for the UK Foreign Office as Boris Johnson warns European counterparts against naivety over Russia's demands. BBC News World. January 22, 2149 America New York. Is prison break in Syria sparks days of clashes. More than 70 people have been killed in the fighting between militants and Kurdish-led forces.
WorldCBSNews.com. January 22, 2107 America New York. Why Al Gore is optimistic about the future of our planet. U.S. greenhouse gas emissions fell during the height of the pandemic lockdown, but came roaring back in 2021. Former Vice President Al Gore has been a constant voice warning about climate change.